we're going to replace this piece inside the breaker plate assembly that handles the vacuum advance inside the distributor. So just pop the distributor cap off and ready to go. Alright, I got my buddy Clay with me here. He's helping me out just because he's awesome. Alright, let's pull that. What are we pulling off first?
Let's do, so we just...
Oh, there we go.
Pull that off.
Here's the distributor out of the vehicle. To remove it, the things that had to be disconnected were the vacuum tube on the bottom of the vacuum control module here on this side of the distributor. Unplug the terminal from the ignition module right here on that side, and then there were two bolts threaded in this way, 10mm bolts that were holding the base of it to the engine block. So once those things are removed, you can just pull the distributor out, and then we're going to work on it right here to replace the bearing plate right here. We just used a Phillips head screwdriver to remove these three screws at the top. We're going to have to pull things off of the distributor in order, keeping track of what we pull off and which orientation they are, which sides, top and bottom, etc., so that we can get to the breaker plate assembly to replace the bearings and the little bearing holder. So to get this piece off, you cannot knock that pin down. It's just going to end up hitting down here. So got to kind of work it up with two flathead screwdrivers and pop it up that way. Good to go. We're removing the ignition module from this side because the wires go up inside the distributor just to clear everything out. Two Phillips heads right here. This one's super tight, so we're working on that one. Alright, we got the ignition module off, which had that inner coil with the little wires, and now we have to undo this screw here, right there, so we can pull the vacuum module off. So it's all connected right there. So this screw came out first, which was pretty corroded on, but we got it free, and then we're going to get this one and pull that whole thing out. Alright, and then this is the breaker plate assembly, which just pulls up, and inside there you can see the broken plastic one, and all those bearings are gone, and we're going to replace that now. Oh yeah, that's a mess. Alright, so next we have to pull this mechanism off, and there's two little ball bearings under there, and that clip is just securing everything in place. So you just pry that clip off and pull everything out, and then we can disassemble and get to everything inside. Here we go. More broken bearing plate. So we're reassembling the bearing plate part. The replacement part that I have is not OEM, somebody had it made. This one has a peg right here on one side. The original one had pegs on both sides, so this peg is going to go face up. So when we put this piece down here, you'll lay that on top. You'll make sure that peg is facing face up, and then you'll drop your three ball bearings into all these little holes right here. And then the next piece that's going to go on is this piece here, and this little short gap here is going to fit right underneath that peg that we had before. Alright, we've got this piece put back on now. There's three ball bearings underneath these three little cups, and there's one of these ends has a little tab, and that tab is going to go through the slot, the skinny slot on the edge of that disc. Alright, getting everything reassembled, putting the vacuum module back in there. Alright, we've got the ignition module back in here. All the wiring working around underneath there, and then we're going to just screw that back on.